Welcome to an exciting new season of Motorhead Garage. Join Brian and John as they play on the racetrack, jazz up a Jeep, and make a classic Chevy pickup truck sing. Next on Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting.
Welcome to a new season of Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now, folks, we got a great season in store for you, and why not start it out with something that we love, cars, awesome cars. But before we jump in, what has the incomparable Brian Lowen's been doing over this break?
I'll tell you what, I've been doing car guy stuff with my car guy friends. It's been a nice break. Glad to be back in the shop, and we're really kicking things off the right way here. What about you?
Yeah, man, I have to tell you, this is going to be an awesome season because we got cool stuff, but I started out actually racing this car right here, man, at Charlotte Motor Speedway. You wouldn't believe it. It was a 14-hour endurance race. This thing was incredible, man. Got to climb in, race, and man, I'll tell you what, come off a pit road. Here I go over their new Roval. I mean, this is a huge course that they're introducing over there at Charlotte. Come out of these banks, I'm up on these banks going around. I thought I was moving, and people are flying by me like I'm standing still. Not the car's fault, my fault, but I'll tell you what, it was fun.
Chrome ollie cage, the thing looks pretty gnarly, and you said you gave it a full effort, but yeah, the thing definitely looks cool.
I'll tell you what, here, take a ride in, man. This thing's incredible.
Well, you did say you drove the doors off it.
Drove the doors off it, absolutely. But you know, looks can be deceiving. This one here has the S suspension, and we're going to take a look at a Mustang that's actually primo with the same S suspension. Well, I told you this Mustang was pristine. It's a 67 Mustang, and I'm here with Jan Marshall. Now, Jan, your company's name actually exemplifies what this car is. You're from Innovation Performance Technologies. Let's start out. Tell me a little bit about your company.
Well, Innovation Performance Technologies is actually a company that falls into the new replica manufacturers of the United States. So we're actually building 1960s and earlier vehicles for the market.
Yeah, and you've been here before. You've been on Motorhead Garage, and you actually brought in a ZR Camaro. Now, that R was special because that's a little different breed than what we have today. You guys are building an S model. Tell us the difference between the R and the S.
Well, we wanted to bring a car to the market that was more reasonably priced. When you start building R models, they can get to $200,000 in the wink of an eye when customers start adding things. So what we wanted to do is reel that back a little bit and come up with this a new Mustang and a new Camaro that's more reasonably priced.
Now, reasonably priced, but the difference is, I mean, high performance and the ride and the everyday. I mean, if I'm a guy that wants to buy a car and drive it every day and have a economical price, this is the model?
Absolutely. You know, the R models and some of these cars get really radical, and they turn into great Ferrari chasers, but they become a little bit hard on your back. So customers are saying, you know, I'd like to have a car that rides nice. I want to drive it to work every day. I want to have air conditioning. I want to have fuel injection. We wanted a moderate suspension, and this is the car.
And you say a moderate suspension, but you know, I was part of the actual proving of it. I mean, we took the car out for 14 hours and the suspension was flawless. Matter of fact, we got a second place in our class. I mean,
yes,
this thing is proven by far. Let's walk through the car. I mean, just tell me from the front to the back, what did you guys build here? Because it's just phenomenal.
So you can see it's actually, this is a 67 Mustang shell. They are brand new shells that we get them from a manufacturer who does that out in California. And then we actually use a Gen 1 drivetrain in this car, but it's got a T5 transmission in it. It's got a 9-inch rear end in it. It's got the Meyer suspension kit that we use in the other car that we kind of developed and did some things with. Air conditioning, rides nice and fun to drive.
It is. I mean, tell me a little bit about the suspension. I mean, we took it out for 14 hours. I mean, we're on a Roval, we're on a track. I mean, we're testing this thing before the NASCAR's guys did. We actually went out on the track. I mean, it lasts. Tell me about the suspension. That's what's so cool about it.
Well, we wanted suspension that, once again, you could drive down the street and be comfortable in it, but would be pretty aggressive. And I think we've achieved that. You've driven a car. You can tell me what you think.
Yeah, I can't wait to drive this one. Now, let me ask you a question. I'm just going to come over to Innovation, and I'm really torn between what cars I want to buy. I mean, am I going to be able to look at them all? I mean, tell me what a customer experience would be as they walk into your place.
Well, the coolest thing you want to do with a customer is you want to actually drive. You want them to drive a restored car, concourse quality, absolutely correct, incredible car from that period in time, and they're going to just see just how truly awful they are. Plastic seats, carbureted cars. You got to wait for them to warm up. Blah 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 blah. The R model, which we talked about before, is of course fuel injected monster car. We wanted this car to be in the range of about $75,000 to be competing in the market with the average price of a new car, performance car you'd want to buy, but it would handle and brake and drive down the street normally, but would also brake pretty good. We've got great brakes on this car, as you know, and we've got great handling in this car, as you know. This thing will keep up with most of the high-performance cars out there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you know what? I'm the expert because I got to drive this one, so the heck with low ones. I'm going to get to drive this one, and I'll see the difference, and we'll talk a little bit about it on the test drive.
Well, Jan Marshall, I'll tell you what, man, I'm in the Mustang now. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, the power's there. The steering stability is unbelievable. I mean, this thing's riding, I mean, really, I got a Cadillac. It's riding nice. I'm getting ice cold air conditioning. This is unreal. Tell me, what went into your thought process with this thing? This is crazy.
Well, we wanted to have an affordable car, $75,000, to compete with that market and build a suspension package that gave you the handling that you could be a little bit sporty, but wouldn't shake you out of the car.
You know what really shocks me? The power's unbelievable, but here we are having a conversation as quiet as can be, as smooth as can be. You're driving with hand with ice cold air. I mean, this is a winner.
Well, this is probably the best air conditioning we've put in a car so far.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get in a 67 Mustang and drive it. I want the creature comforts that this car has, the feel that this car has, and on top of it all, the power and performance, it's all there. So, John, I'll tell you what, you guys got a winner, man. This is unbelievable.
I hope so.
Check them out on Innovation Performance Technologies. Go to their website, check it out. I'll tell you what, they got a winner right here. We'll be back with more Motorhead Garage right after this break.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is brought to you by Red Baron Tools. Easy to see, easy to reach. Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Magic Creeper, ready rain or shine. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now, we've seen our share of cool JK Jeeps, and we also seen a lot of accessories that are awesome, and this one tops the list. I'm here with Joe from Under the Sun Inserts. Now, Joe, tell us about your insert and the simple process of installation.
Sure. So at Under the Sun Inserts, we make high-quality custom grill inserts. We use the highest quality material. We use perforated aluminum that we powder coat for extra durability, and then we UV print pretty much any design you could think of.
Now, how do you put it in? I mean, it's that easy.
The best part about it is the installation. We could show you how it's done.
Let's do it. Got a couple clips here.
Yep. There's 6 clips that go across the top of the grill that you just get a flathead screwdriver and get under them and pop them right out.
All right, nothing to that. I can handle that part.
Sure.
All right, so we got the clips out. What's next?
Take your grill insert, gently pull the grill forward.
Okay.
Slide it right into place. Whatever the design is, you just make sure it's centered up.
All right.
Push everything back,
Nice.
reinstall your clips.
Now, what's holding that in?
The compression from these clips being, attached to the grill keeps everything snug, tight, no movement, no rattle. Like I said, they're all aluminum, they don't rust, and we could do many different designs.
Now, I guess the question would be airflow. Is this going to obstruct any airflow or cause any overheating problems?
There's about 70% airflow going to the engine, which is more than enough. We've never had temperature issues, and I don't foresee that happening.
Now, you have a whole array of these things. I mean, I could put anything I want on it?
Absolutely. That's our specialty. We like to customize them, and we could do almost anything.
Well, that was easy. Now, Jeep has this JK, but they also have an all-new line called a JL. Brian and Jamie, they're installing that right now. Let's join them.
You know, John's the old guy on set, so we gave him the old Jeep to work on. I'm hip and cool and young. So isn't the Jeep JL. This is brand new. I'm with Jamie from Under the Sun Inserts. Jamie, the JL presented a bit of a different change for you guys because of the fact it comes with factory mesh.
Yes.
So let's walk through the process of how we do one of your installs with a factory mesh style Jeep.
Great. Yeah, so same process as the JK, so we already removed the pins on the top. So we'll pop this out, and you just want to get underneath, pull these plastic tabs that will pop right out.
Okie doke.
Once we have that, we'll put the grill on the table to remove the other pieces.
Yeah, one of the things we've done is there's a series of screws, and there's some Torx heads, there's some Phillips, and you can use a flathead screwdriver to release some of the clips. Super easy. So why don't we go ahead and get on this thing. We've removed some of these for the interest of time, but it is not rocket surgery here. It's a couple of screws, a couple of tabs, and we'll be in business. So, you know, we talked about before how kind of any design you can come up with, you can have printed on one of your inserts. There are, or at least should be, maybe 1 or 2 restrictions on that, right?
Yeah, so we have to adhere by copyright logos, so we can't do, unfortunately, Major League Baseball, NFL, or NCAA, things like that. That will hold us back a little bit, but otherwise, if you want a picture of your family dog, pet, or anything like that, we can definitely do that process for you.
That's perfect. And so if I wanted my, my co-host John Gardner's face plastered across my Jeep, I could actually make that happen.
Exactly.
Perfect.
We'd be happy to do that for you guys.
Awesome. I don't see enough of the guy anyway, so that'd be great. So basically, once you get your screws out, there's a couple of quick clips.
Yes.
And then the process basically goes in reverse. Now, you did mention there are 2 Jeep models where there's another step.
Yes, so if you have a Rubicon or Sahara model on the JL, there's 4 panhead T20 screws that need to go back that will hold the trim kit in place. And then once you have that, we can install it back.
So there we go. We're going to take our iconic Jeep grill shell and move it right back over here, line up our clips, pop it in, and we're then going to go with the distressed American flag look here.
Correct.
This is super cool, and again, one of hundreds of designs that you guys have available. Simply lower it back there, square it up to the area you want it to be lined up with. If your design is centric to the right or left, make sure you got it where you want it. Clip, and then we install the same little plugs that we had there.
Yep.
These guys have a great product. You can go to underthesuninserts.com to find out more. And if you have a custom design you'd like to do, all you need to do is email them, send them an image, and they can make it happen. Jamie, thanks for coming in.
I appreciate it.
Made in the USA. It's awesome, and this
Yes.
Jeep is way better looking than when we started. We'll be back with more Motorhead Garage right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. In today's world, no one wants their car to look like every other car in the street. Take, for instance, this good-looking 5th-gen Camaro we have up here in the lift. You can notice in the back, we got these awesome brake caliper covers on there. What do those do? Well, they add a nice kind of flair of performance look to the car, and they make sure that your car, and especially a Camaro, doesn't look like every other one on the road. I'm joined by Phil here from Strata Italia. You're the guys who make these brake caliper covers, and tell me what's cool about them. What am I looking at here?
Here you're looking at our lineup. We have the entry level, we'll call them the flat style. And here we have a machined embossed look. This one will give you that high performance, we'll call it Brembo look.
Sure.
This will be, let's say for the mass market, you just want to cover your brake.
Yeah, give a little more flair. Give a little bit more of a performance
flair.
look.
Also, one of the bonus side effects would be dust reduction. So your mag, instead of looking black all the time, will actually keep it shine. And that's one of the benefits of having these. Besides the look, you got dust protection.
Yeah, I think what's really cool is, obviously they're vented, so they're not going to trap a bunch of heat on the caliper, but
Exactly.
they're also going to help to keep the dust down. I mean,
That's right.
What I think is really impressive about these when I look at them, I mean, this is CNC machined, aircraft quality aluminum here. The mounting system on these is really kind of what sets them apart. And I know, dude, you're an aviation engineer, so tell me how you engineered these.
So what we did was, having a shop myself, we wanted to keep the inventory as low as possible and move as much stock for the owner of the shop.
Sure.
And when the customer comes in, you'll have inventory, you can satisfy his needs on the spot. So what we came up with are what's basically called the applicators. These applicators are brake specific, not vehicle specific. At this point, what would happen is if you buy a kit for a Camaro, example this model here, and GM decides to change the rear caliper, you don't have to change the whole kit, you just change the applicators in the
Sure.
back.
And these are, I mean, stainless steel, really neat.
304 2B stainless steel, totally fine for all the elements. Winter, they were tested in Quebec.
Let's show people how easy these are to install. Obviously, we put the one on the back wheel already, and
Sure.
I'm going to head over here to the brake caliper. Now, this is no drilling, no welding, no cutting, no nothing.
No cutting, no nothing.
What we're going to do here is basically we're going to take our clip.
No, that won't be on
Yeah,
top.
we're going to be a top clip here. Take our clip.
Push down.
It's a kind of a friction fit. We push it right down on top of the caliper and seat it down. And then if you can pass me the bottom clip.
Yes, sure.
That one, we're going to find the bottom here. I'm just going to take the screw out so we can put our cover on. And again, same deal. It's going to slide up right underneath the caliper. It's not making contact with the rotor. There's plenty of room for everything to
If you
operate.
notice, where there's moving parts, there's no metal. So basically, it's away from any moving part. This is the brake guide. This is the brake caliper. This moves, your disc moves. We are away from any moving parts, so there's no chance of noise, vibration.
Pick me a color, man. Which way are we going here?
Here you go, sir.
Going red to match the back. Cool.
There you go.
And we got nice stainless hardware that we're going to use to secure these with. And again, it's just as simple.
Line up your holes.
Lining up the holes here, which we'll do.
There you go.
And I will, I'll set this up if you want to run it in.
Go ahead.
Now, as you mentioned, you know, you guys are from Quebec, Canada, or Montreal specifically. So your roads out there aren't exactly, you know, like you're in downtown LA. It's
Exactly.
And you spent a while making sure that these things were rugged enough to stay on the wheel. I mean, you were telling me previously that you had actually mounted cameras underneath the car to make sure this wasn't moving around too much.
Yes, we mounted the GoPros on the suspension so we could watch it from the inside for any vibrations or any looseness or rattles, let's say, even though the camera picks up most of the wind noise. But at the same time, we wanted to make sure that it would withstand the elements.
Yeah, it's rugged, mounted, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
When you need to do a brake job, you're taking off two screws here and 2 clips.
Exactly.
And then again, like you said, if you want to sell your car, change applications, you can pull these off and move
That's
on to a
right.
new
We have
vehicle.
6 sizes actually that cover, like, we'll say 99% of the car. We haven't found one yet that hasn't been able to fit one of the sizes we have. It took us quite a while actually to come up with those sizes. A lot of measuring, a lot of scanning, a lot of trial and error. But here you have it. Like I said, it gives a big brake look.
So man, as I'm pulling this thing, it is super ruggedly mounted.
Yes, it is. And if you notice the clip, what we've done was we've solidified X, Y, and Z. Basically, you can't move it left or right. The only way, the way you mounted it was up and down. So by applying the caliper cover and applying the screws, it basically locked it in place. It could only go up or down.
Where do we find you guys on the web?
You will find us at stradaitalia.com.
Phil, thanks for coming in. Really neat product. We're definitely dressed up this kind of mundane looking Camaro. We'll be back with more Motorhead Garage right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is brought to you by Stage 8 Fasteners, home of the world's best locking hitter bolt. For more information, go to stage8.com. AP Laser, leading the way. Stow & Show, show off that beautiful bumper. And by Prefix Corporation, excellence is expected.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. You know, trucks these days are incredibly hot. This is a 1971 half-ton short bed C10 behind me, kind of like the holy grail for guys that want hot rod trucks or even collectors. The cool thing about old trucks is they're kind of basic and they're neat looking, they have basic styling and they're fun. The kind of downside of old trucks is they don't have a lot of creature comforts. In today's world of hot rodding, we kind of expect stuff like that. Thankfully, Custom Auto Sound has us covered on the audio end, if not the comfort end, where they have this unit here that is a direct replacement for a 1967 to 72 Chevy truck. Now, it's not just a radio. There's a bunch of different facets and functions here. Basically, this unit is going to do everything a modern stereo would do in any sort of even late model car. It has everything from Bluetooth connectivity. It even has this microphone that comes with the radio. And for a second, let's talk about this and why this is probably the most important part of the whole program. The reality is when you're driving an old car, it does require a little extra attention. And the other reality is you can't get away from your cell phone because, well, you're a human being and this is the modern world. So with this, you get hands-free Bluetooth connectivity. You can still converse on your phone, have those conversations, and maintain a high level of concentration behind the wheel while you're driving a cool truck like this old C10. Along with the microphone, along with the Bluetooth connectivity, it has a fader front to back, left to right. It has multiple input jacks here in the back so you can get all your different accessories hooked up, including a remote-mounted CD player, anything you want it to do. It also has this face. Now, the face looks classic, but the neat thing is it's LED lighting, so you can kind of change the look if you'd like. Multiple different colors are available. Very simple installation. It comes with everything you're going to need to put it in. And our man John is actually in the C10 right now. And I'll tell you something. If John could put a radio in an old truck, you could put a radio in an old truck.
Now, Brian's not always right, but in this case, yeah, he's right. Custom Auto Sound couldn't make it any easier. You can see the schematic right here. And the first thing to always do is disconnect the negative battery cable so you don't have any electrical problems when you're hooking something up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take the unit, come over here. I'm going to get all these plugged in. I'm going to start here with the antenna and plug it in. And then I can support the radio up here. I'm going to make sure that I get these connectors down in there and seated. It's a matter of just pushing them down. You'll feel them lock in there in place. And like I said, you couldn't make it any easier. They just pop right in. They're locked and ready to go. Now, 71 pickup truck, even better. Took the glove box out. Man, I have all the room in the world. I'm going to go ahead and put these plates back here. Went ahead and pre-adjusted it so we know exactly where it's going to sit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reach in here. I'm going to fish it through. And then we're going to put on the plates. Now, whether you're working with an old car or a new car, good practice is always just to make sure we're not hitting something back there when we're putting this stuff in. I'm just going to grab these knobs from the front here, see if I can hold it so I can show you exactly what's going on. Then the plate, I'm going to take the plate and put the plate on. Once I get the plate on, the cool part is the plate a lot of times is going to center the radio all up, so I can hold it there for a second. And then what I'm going to do is put the lock washer on here. That actually supports it. Come back with the washer. All this stuff supplied. Once I get that on, they give you a little nut here that screws on there real nice. I'll hold it once again, and I'll do the same thing on this side. So there it is. Get it lined up in the center of the dash. You can come back, you can tighten it up a hair with the socket. Just like I said, you don't have to go too much on this stuff, because when you go too much on it, you're going to go ahead and shear off the little nut. We don't want to do that. Now it's just a matter of putting the knobs on. You got the adjuster knobs on the bottom here, which actually are grooved. You put them on, they lock right in place. And the other side. And the nice thing about this is once it's secure, little vibration's not going to hurt it. Custom Auto Sound's been tested for vibration, temperature, and then it's actually been tuned at the factory, so we know everything's going to sound great. So I'm going to get these knobs on here. Man, now it's just a matter of reconnecting the battery. Maybe I can get Brian over to help me and see what this thing really sounds like.
So I finished up hooking up the battery. John's done the hard work. Fire it up.
Yeah, you know, you were right, Brian. It couldn't have been any easier. Now it's a moment of truth. The proof's in the pudding here. So guess what? I installed it. I picked the station. Hip hop, rap, I don't know, potluck. Let's see what we got. Hey, we got power. That's
Power's up. Cool little LED display there, laying out the Custom Auto Sound logo, and then bam, right onto the station, dude.
Gotta love it.
Definitely gotta love it.
Awesome.
We showed you how easy it is to install one of these units. You can go to customautosound.com. They have all kinds of applications for vehicles that range from 70s pickup trucks and stuff way older, and even some stuff newer than that. Thanks for watching Motorhead Garage. We'll be back again next week with more cool stuff in the shop. And if you have a product you want to see in the shop, email Jeff at masterstv.com, and you may find yourself here in the cab with me and John, rocking out.
Yep, we're riding a 71 Chevy pickup truck with Custom Auto Sound.